It's a study that I think is very interesting because it looks at a new way of treating obesity, looking for weight loss. And what it does, it combines a drug that is traditionally thought of as being a diabetes drug, along with a drug that traditionally has been used to treat obesity, which is something called Phentermine. The diabetes drug is called Invokana. It's interesting because Invokana is a relatively new diabetes drug. It has been shown to achieve good results as far as glucose, but they found that it also causes some weight loss in patients, and a nice weight loss, which people get initially, and can be sustained. And it was thought, well, can we see greater, if we combine this drug with another drug that's traditionally used for treating obesity, Phentermine, maybe we can see a greater weight loss. And it's basically a 26-week study that looks at 3 different arms. One is just, in these types of studies, we usually have what we call a placebo arm. That is patients who get no treatment. And then there is one arm that gets Phentermine only, and one arm that gets Invokana only, and then there's a combination arm. And the idea is, would the combination arm have much greater effect than either of the other 2 drugs alone? And that's what we saw. And we roughly saw that that overall, in terms of the results of the study, that patients lost on average about 5% of their basal weight. And about 30 to 40% of patients lost a bit, that were on the combination drug, lost about 40%. Or I should say 10%, I'm sorry, of their basal weight, which is really quite a good achievement. It would depend. You know, the drug Invokana can be used as a monotherapy, or it has been also used in combination with other diabetes drugs. But some patients who are on it might take Phentermine separately as a weight loss drug. It's the most commonly used drug for weight loss in the US today. It can. Often for the Phentermine, the dosage that's most often used, if it's given as a monotherapy, is a 37.5 milligrams, whereas in the study it was a 15 milligram tablet. But the Invokana dose was a 300 milligram tablet, which is a tablet that's used for diabetes treatment. Phentermine was in combination with fenfluramine, the quote infamous Fen-Phen unquote, but it was the fenfluramine that was really the drug that was thought to cause some of the cardiac side effects that were noted, and so that has been taken off the market. But Phentermine was really declared to be the innocent bystander, so to speak. And Phentermine has been around for about 60 to 70 years and has been used. The study was actually done in patients who did not have diabetes. And the idea was that it could be used for treating patients without diabetes, and that it would be effective as a weight loss drug, and it has shown to be. They had done a smaller, shorter study with Invokana alone several years ago because they did know that it did cause some weight loss, and it was the idea, well, could it be a weight loss drug by itself? But by itself it did not show quite the effect that they were hoping for. We do find that obesity is a very difficult issue to treat, I think, as we all know, and often monotherapy alone is maybe successful initially, but it doesn't hold the weight loss. And some of the ideas about combining the 2 was that indeed you would get more substantial weight loss, and that it would hold it. Now, as I said, it was only a 26-week study. It would be interesting to see a year study. You know, I think it shows great promise, and I think that would be, an important thing to do. Gastric bypass can be very successful, and has been a great help, especially in patients who are very morbidly obese. No, it appears to be effective, and I think the study showed a minimal side effect profile. So I think it may, we are so pushed to have effective weight loss drugs that I think it could offer. I think definitely could be a place for it. Not all patients are morbidly obese. They're overweight, moderate obesity, that sort of thing, and we need help in that regard. We would like to think that people could overcome the obesity epidemic by lifestyle changes. We would like to think that, but again, it is apparent that we need help, and we need to think of, I think, of obesity as a condition. I mean, it has been declared to be a disease, so to speak. For many years, it was thought, well, everybody's overweight because they eat too much, or simplification. But that's probably not totally true by any means. There are all sorts of genetic factors and environmental factors that come into play that help, I think, cause our, quote, epidemic of obesity. And we definitely need better ways to treat it. And I think something like, this combination offers some promise. I think we need more work, maybe a bit more study to see, the full, range of effect that we might see with it. I would like to see more testing done on this. I think we need, I think, to do like a longer trial, maybe a year trial, to see what effect that is. And although it sounds a little strange, I think we really need to do a study of it in people who have type 2 diabetes. Now, I know that sounds strange because part of it is a diabetes drug. But again, it's more difficult for people with diabetes to lose weight. That's been shown over and over. And so something like this, if we could see this combination, we may see better weight loss and we may see better glucose control.